However that goes.
We are live.
Shit.
Oh, hello. Welcome to the Punk Rock Libertarians Podcast, episode 370. I am Otto, and I'm joined with Jared Schneiderman.
Hello.
Alex Schlegel.
Let's go, Brandon.
And Extremist Bab.
Hello.
What's up, everybody?
Whew, great to see you.
So we had a week off last week. Jared was just doing a little bit of traveling, and it just kind of didn't work for us to go, so we skipped the week.
Blame it on me. I see how it is.
It's the Jewish guy's fault.
Yeah,
always...
exactly. Not the fact that, like, Otto, you and I were hung the fuck over.
I was traveling to the Holy Land.
Yeah.
In Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
He was at the Wailing. Jared was at the Wailing Wall, just back and forth.
Yeah, exactly. Davening. Hurling bombs at the Palestinians, you know.
There's been so much mayhem
of an Israeli.
Yeah,
we missed so much mayhem.
Typical Zionist activity.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we took a little week off, but we're back in the saddle with a bunch of OGs doing this shit. So really appreciate you guys checking us out. And if you're on YouTube right now, just hit subscribe, man. Subscribe to our podcast. It's great. You get updates and everything else. Just go ahead and do that. Like us wherever you can. Share this motherfucker if you like it. If you don't,
far and
I don't
wide.
blame you.
Share it with your enemies. If you don't like it, your enemies will. Okay.
Probably.
So,
we've gained
it's very black and white here.
And red all over. I don't know why that was funny, but whatever. Anyway, so so I spent all day. I literally got back like as soon as we sent for the pre-show. I got back from Renfest. I was at Renfest all damn day today.
And what is that? Is that a punk rock thing? What is this?
No,
Hardcore
Renaissance. Renaissance.
It's for geeks and like people that play dress up and stuff.
Yeah, a bunch of LARPers.
It wasn't until a few years ago that I even found out what the word Renfest was. I was like, "Oh, the Renaissance Fair." It's short.
Because there's so much negative stigma to that they have to like call it Renfest. Like, oh, that might be something cool, you know, like
right.
You know, to immediately be like, oh no. But
so today was
why should I even say that? I think I mean, there's a lot of sex and drugs and and like these people are all into stuff. So how was it?
It was interesting. I've never once had the urge. I don't know what the appeal is of this. And so today was the last day they're open. It's at Crownsville. It's like this big fucking field in Maryland, like kind of close to Annapolis, to the capital. And I mean, it's a pain in the dick to get in. It's just so much traffic. I mean, this thing was sold out. There were signs on the highway saying Renfest is sold out. Do not enter or don't exit unless you're going to Renfest. It was like some shit like that. I don't know. So they also call this Day of the Wrong. So it's like everyone gets to cosplay and do whatever they want. So there was like a bunch of like Star Trek nerds there dressed up and Star Wars. You know.
Oh, really? So it's like pan geek instead of specific to like.
And it was fucking packed. I mean, my God. I mean, there were some cool aspects of it. It was literally, though, like I have my biggest flaw. Like the biggest thing that annoyed the shit out of me is that for everything I've ever known about the Renaissance fairs, everyone they over talk about the stupid fucking turkey leg that everyone gets to eat and walk around with.
It's fucking
garbage, turkey leg.
Yeah,
it's disgusting.
Yeah, I tried it. It tastes like shit.
It is the grossest and most difficult thing to eat ever. I was so pissed off because this thing was like apparently like they smoke it, I guess, so it turns it into leather. I'm like, this was like I was eating leather, and it like, and then of course, so I'm trying to like
these are Biden. These are Biden meat prices too, so you probably paid for like.
You're trying to get you're trying to get the real medieval experience of misery and crap in the gutters and
right. And then Biden fucks it up for even more.
It was so.
You wanted really a taste of communism, is what you got.
Yeah, right. It was like dog meat. Right. It was like I was like, if this was dog meat, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
And then there's like a pocket of grease that I hit, like you hit it and it just like exploded this hot. Oh, what the fuck! I was like, dude, I threw it down. I'm like, I'm not eating this. Like,
yeah, I think when I got it,
could not eat it.
Dude.
I think when I got it, I ate like maybe like a third of it, and then I threw it in the garbage.
It was terrible. Why didn't anyone warn me about this?
I went years
guys, we
ago.
got to know these things.
And it's like the biggest kept secret is like people pretend like, oh yeah, you got to get the fucking giant turkey leg,
Right.
like, oh yeah, you got to be a badass like Renaissance dude, and then you get it, and you're like, wow, thanks,
This is
assholes.
garbage.
You know what?
Like
can I just
eaten.
drink mead? Can I just drink the mead?
I drank some mead. I did drink some mead.
And maybe you know what? Maybe I'll fight somebody with a broadsword. Okay, but that's as far as I go.
Dude, the mead wasn't even like that good.
Wait, you said you'd fight abroad with a sword? Is that what you said?
Wow.
Did
Calm
anybody
down
get
over there, Bab.
stabbed? Did anybody get stabbed there, like at the jousting, or maybe?
Yeah, well, we saw some jousting.
That's legit.
That's the state sport of Maryland. I don't know. A lot of people don't know that shit. Like, it's one thing that's gone on for hundreds of years is that's
Not
been
lacrosse?
our state sport.
Jousting?
No, yes,
Not
jousting's our state
lacrosse?
sport. Lacrosse
What?
is the state team sport. Look it up, dude.
Dude, why don't you bring that back for like political contests instead of being like, look, we're going to do the primaries now with jousting,
You're gonna be
right? Or like,
Yeah.
tell your statewide candidates like to challenge their opponent to jousting in the traditional Maryland format.
Get
Like
Larry
if you-
Hogan up on.
If
a
you don't
fucking
really
steed.
joust, then you can't really
Yeah.
say you're going to represent Maryland here. Like,
make
it's time to-
dueling great again.
Let's get Larry Hogan in a fucking suit of armor, a
Make
big
jousting
fat
great
suit
again.
of armor, and just throw him at the wall.
Can I just like hit him with the lance? Just like
Yeah.
raise it down, just like boom, and just like
Put him
knock
up
off
against
his
like
horse.
I don't know, what's another Marylander like? Put him up against like Ray Lewis or something, you know, just like
Ray
let them go.
Ray
ahead.
Lewis
See-
will get a
see-
few good stabs in.
see-
He'll get a good
yeah,
Thunderdome.
exactly, dude. He's good at stabbing people. Like, put him in there.
Put him in there.
He's murdered people.
The idea
Got
is
away
not to
with it.
stab your opponent in jousting; it's to knock your opponent off their horse. Okay,
Right.
So.
They only
just-
accidentally get stabbed sometimes in the neck and then bleed out.
Oh,
Tragically.
that'd be cool. Oh, that'd be awful. I mean, I hate to see that happen.
I'd hate to see a
Yeah,
politician
hate to
bleed
see
out.
Wasn't
at
that Game of
Renaissance
Thrones that
Festival.
happened?
Probably.
That
Fucking
TV show
hell.
that's not real.
That TV show which is funny because you guys know that show just completely disappeared, even from like memes. You don't even see Game of Thrones like theme. No, you don't. Don't.
Yeah,
you don't.
yeah. You don't
Because
see
it was
the
such a
get ready,
horrible
here it
ending.
comes. Here it
It
comes.
was so
True.
horrible.
Get ready. Yeah.
It was so bad. You don't even see any of those. Like that's how bad that show ended. I mean, we talked about it on the show at the time.
People
how
want
bad
to wipe
was.
it out from their memory.
Right. It's like lost in the memory hole. And
Like
I
the
kind of don't
memes
blame him
aren't
because
even
that shit's
relevant.
fucked.
That's sad.
Yeah, man, I sympathize with you on the Ren Fair thing though. Like when I went, it was like, all right, get the nasty ass chicken leg, and then the rest of the time was just spent waiting in line for mead, drinking the
Yes.
mead, waiting in line again for the mead, drinking
Yes.
the mead,
Yeah.
and that maybe like 4 iterations of that, and then we left. Like it
And
was
it's
like,
like-
so stupid.
And then you're like, I could be home watching football right now.
Yeah, I was just checking
Wow.
my phone the entire time.
Drinking your own mead, eating your
Yeah.
own turkey legs,
Right.
That
Yeah,
was
I could just
proper-
be
wearing
like
your own
having some-
wearing your own period
Yeah.
costumes, like
Grilling
Like,
out.
cosplaying in my
bothering
living
you.
room.
yeah,
Right. telling
cosplay a
my
sad
wife-
Ravens fan in my living room. That's what I
Right. Telling
would've
my
been doing.
wife or significant other, like, beer wench, go get the mead, while I
Right.
watch sports ball and grill out.
Yeah,
Now,
that's the
was
only
it-
redeeming
legs
thing
on
is like the
Sunday.
chicks that are like scantily clad in like,
Yeah, there's a lot
of
Renaissance stuff.
There was a lot of that.
Yeah, you could have your significant
Wenches.
other do that,
They're
grill out
like-
at your own house and
Excuse me.
watch football and drink your own mead. You don't have to go out to Renfest for that.
I
Now,
know.
how
It's-
was the mead though in terms of potency? Like,
I don't know. They didn't have an APV up, and it was kind of like I took it tasted like it could have been like around 4 to 5%.
Yeah, it
Lame.
wasn't.
Which
Yeah,
yeah,
not that good.
lame. I know.
Weak
So that's
sauce.
why I went to the Oktoberfest after that. I was like, get me drunk. And so it was funny because we went the whole crew. It was like a whole like the kids, like I took the kids out, and then I took like my friends showed up with their kids. And what was happening is every single time someone would go to in the line for like to get something to drink, everyone would just kind of like cut in front of them to get to, and, like once they got to the front, and this process just kept happening all day. So we never really had to wait in line. One person just had to wait in line at a time, and then you could just go in and cut in front of them when they were in line. So it was the system worked pretty well for us. We had a bunch of people there. It We had like 10 adults.
Sounds like some kind of white privilege.
There was a lot of white privilege. It was funny. I saw a guy who was wearing like a vest with like on it, and I don't know if he was doing it ironically, but he had a Baltimore City police officer's patch next to his Subhumans, the band Subhumans, the punk band. He had like, I was like, are you just trying to be ironic, or are you like one of those punk guys that decided to join the state? I don't know. I have no clue. I was like, that's kind of weird. I must meant to take a picture of it. I was like, but I didn't get a chance to. It was weird. And I was like, all right, whatever. Bunch of biker gangs. There was biker gangs there, like actual biker gangs.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was
at the Oktoberfest, not at Renfest. Wouldn't that invited gang to the Renaissance Fair, right? Like, just like imagine the bikers all with giant turkey legs. This could add a whole new, element.
Wait, the bikers were at the Oktoberfest?
No. He was saying imagine if they were. So no, this was at Renfest. There was like a bunch of biker gangs that showed up.
The bikers were at Renfest. Okay.
Yes. I know. It was dude, it was weird. It was like a bunch of people. Man, it was I mean, it was okay, I guess. It was overpriced food and drink, and like,
was there any entertainment like sword fighting or shooting arrows at apples on people's heads, or like what do you do?
We got to drench a wench. That was pretty bigoted and misogynistic. It was a woman in a tank.
Cardi B. That's like a Cardi B song, probably, right?
Did you throw axes?
Drench the wench.
That was actually right next to drench the wench was the axe throwing. I didn't get a chance to do that, but like my nephews and stuff were like throwing ninja stars and like
nice.
They were,
well, that's not very Renaissance. Well, I don't know.
They call them like I forget what they called them. They were ninja stars, and then there was a rock climbing wall that like my 5-year-old nephew or nieces were climbing up, like huge, like all the way up like 20 feet in the air. I'm like, this is pretty cool.
I think shuriken is the word you were looking for.
Shuriken,
the throwing star. Though. It's not a Japanese throwing star or whatever. It's I don't know.
Bab is
we used to make those. We used to make those, and that's all we would make in shop class.
Wish they had you on set. Wish they had you on set for the Alec Baldwin movie,
right? Oh. Right? They're like,
is it time for Alec Baldwin jokes yet, or like? I thought we
drop them.
Okay. All right. So let's move into this because I want to say I never in a million years would have thought that a Baldwin brother murking some chick would be as funny as it is. And I'm sorry, everyone's all getting mad in the Instagram, but see, you're full of it. There's a bunch of people in the Instagram comments saying this isn't the time for jokes. A woman's dead. Blah 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 blah.
No,
but yet I have like 20,000. I have like 20,000 likes. All right. So there's at least 20,000 of people. There are a bunch of degenerate, people with a sense of humor.
Well, we're not laughing. We're not laughing at the tragedy. We're laughing at the douchebag Hollywood scumbag who's at best negligently murderous. I mean, how do you where do you let this guy off? And some people say, oh, you know what? It's not his fault. He's just the actor. He's not responsible for the props. He's the goddamn producer. Okay. So if he's not responsible as the actor, then take him down as the producer. It's at some point, like, you got to own up and say, like, yeah, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And obviously, if he had spent more time making friends with people with guns instead of declaring war on them, he might have actually known something about a firearm and been able to handle it correctly.
Yeah, maybe if he spent a little bit of money on a gun safety class, he would have maybe been 101. Don't point this shit unless unloaded.
It's been hard to kind of track down the official story here, or at least whatever version is being
probably going to go away
promulgated. But so what happened? There was actually a bullet in the prop gun, or was there something jammed in the barrel?
We don't know yet. I don't think, unless someone in the comments, let us know. Because the story is that there was on the set of, Alec Baldwin's new movie. It's like a Western or whatever. There was the first story came out and said someone was shot accidentally by a prop gun, almost like what happened in what is that movie, The Crow? Remember?
Crow,
yeah. Back when we were kids. That
was Brandon Lee was shot by a prop gun that happened to have like a piece of a bullet in the chamber still, like just the sorry, if I don't like what the cap or whatever, like the tip of the bullet was still in just the tip was in the chamber,
or the
got shot.
The casing probably. Who the fuck knows? That was so long ago. I don't know.
I was just reading an article yesterday, but
yeah, and who knows if that is like 100% accurate.
Yeah, and so then it came out like later as the night went on. It was like, oh, it was Alec Baldwin who shot this woman. And she was on the set. She was what director.
Hold on, real quick. Wayne in the chat has said projectile was lodged in the barrel, all blanks in the spool, allegedly.
How do you shoot two people accidentally like that?
That's what I'm weird. That's what's weirding me out is like how.
And there's a conspiracy theory. Do you guys see their conspiracy theory? Like,
oh, that the attorney, the lady who was killed is married to the husband who was the lawyer about the Russiagate, and apparently was overturned. So
that just sounds like
maybe
Hollywood,
Clinton, like another Clinton body count, another like. No, for real. All right, that's while you guys were talking about this, I was trying to pull up the tweet because Sally Mayweather put it out there, and
did you just call him Sally? Sally Mayweather.
Sal Mayweather. Sally.
No, Sally works. Dude, Sally.
No, but he posted it something that there's ties to the Clintons, and that the lady on the set, whoever was, I don't know, whether she was a producer or what, I don't know what she was on set, but apparently her husband is a lawyer who was representing. Yeah, so who the fuck knows? Could be part of the Clinton body count.
There's also an angle to this thing where there was a bunch of weird stuff going on with like the union, like the actors union or whatever, or not even the actors union, like the
the stagehands, because I heard
there's
like a
stagehands
strike
union or whatever.
Like they're
like if he had hired good union people, that
exactly. That's exactly the narrative that's coming out. They're like, prior to this, like 5 union members stormed off the set because of how they were being treated. And
so, do you think some union thugs are like, "Oh, this will be funny. Let's lodge some metal in that barrel, and then when that asshole picks it up, he'll be sorry he didn't hire us."
It's possible, man.
I got another conspiracy theory hot off the press.
Agent
her name
Baldwin.
was Helena, or is it Helene? Yeah, Helena Hutchins, and it says her next project was a documentary on the Hollywood pedophile ring.
No.
Oh well, okay. Yeah. Now we finally got to the bottom of that.
Yeah.
How about
she was
one of our listeners?
Yeah, one of our listeners, Wayne Lamp, said Agent Baldwin, Clinton operative.
You know that's Brian, right? You know that's Brian.
Oh, Brian? I don't know.
Yeah,
dude, I'm off the books.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, but
I'm
Brian.
off the books this year. I don't know.
Did you see the story about this? Wasn't the first negligent discharge on the set? That there were previously a stunt double accidentally fired 2 rounds prior on the set, and there were already some major safety concerns. And they're saying like people were pissed off and threatening to leave over the safety. Now maybe that's just union, grumblings. I don't know, but it looks like I'm thinking the producer here has a lot to answer for.
You got to be careful bringing in the stunt cocks. Like when you bring the stunt cocks on stage,
there's protocols, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I swear to God, if Alec Baldwin had spent one day at Pork Fest taking like the newbie shoot class,
he would be like, yo, what the fuck?
That person would not have died. Okay. Right. Like instead, he's just, a liberal douche and he's just a danger.
Yeah. I'm curious, like
condescending prick towards the gun,
like, were they filming something where, like, I can't imagine they were filming something where they wanted like the gun fired in the direction of, the cinematographer, right? I mean, maybe if you're trying to get a flash out of the muzzle or something, but I imagine you would probably not stand there. You know what I mean?
Well, as the producer, your job, right? The producer is going to be like, "Hey, you people move for this."
Yeah, just start rolling the camera.
You're not allowed to stand.
There.
You don't stand at the end of the barrel of the gun while we're even firing blanks.
Regardless, fake gun, whatever the fuck gun, Nerf gun. Like, don't
stand down there.
General
direction. Was he just like fucking around and like being Mr. Cowboy and just like pointed it and went boom?
Probably.
Or was it? Or was it?
Probably
Or is he a Clinton operative? There's a lot of possibilities here.
There's levels to the shit.
But
I'm curious if they got it on film.
I mean, I think it's time. I think it's time
I paid
that
so much to watch that.
in the face of this tragedy, in the face of this tragedy,
from his angle. I just want to see his face as he does it.
Yeah. Well, there must be video of this happening, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like, if he shot the cinematographer, it has to be like somebody was rolling camera somewhere.
Oh, that could maybe it'll be in the editor's cut. Yeah. Final cut.
I'm picking up that Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I would say it would be on Live Leak, but it looks like they shut down Live Leak. Did you hear about this?
Yeah, I did hear about that.
They shut it down like back in May, apparently. I learned that they had shut it down like a few weeks ago, but
yeah. Well, you know what's funny though is have you seen the pictures of Alec Baldwin like on the phone, like crying, hunched over after it happened?
Oh no,
with a mask in his hand.
Huh?
One where he has like the mask in his hand too.
Yeah, I saw that one.
I didn't know.
Glad he's still masked.
We got to make sure we've got the mask.
We don't want anyone to get hurt here. We're gonna mask up.
Yeah. Better not.
It reminded me of AOC at the border. At the border, which just heard was like hunched over, like
at the border,
like, you're an actor.
You're in the Capitol, allegedly.
Yeah, right.
In the bathroom.
Is it? Do you think it's fair that we just ask for some sensible Hollywood douche control? Okay, like they're just these guys are out of hand, and before someone else gets hurt, I think it's time that just some reasonable restrictions.
Be like, why can't Keanu Reeves play that role? And you know what's ironic is apparently this Western story is about a young teenager wrongfully accused of a murder.
Yeah.
That's the fucking irony of this. It's like,
wrongfully accused of an accidental murder.
Accidental murder. So it's like, wait, this is a Western? Like, Jesus fucking Christ.
So does this movie get put out? Do you think that this gets made still?
Yes. Depends on how far along it depends on how far along.
It's just a stunt to promote the movie. Let me ask you, did you know anything about this movie before this happened?
No,
not a goddamn thing.
Now we all want to watch it. Watch it.
The headline, we're already talking about the bonus cuts and stuff we're hoping to see. Like, so, like snuff films are usually pretty popular,
right? Like, who's gonna come in for Alec Baldwin now? Who's gonna be the stunt cock? Like, how are they gonna kill him off now? Like,
how do you bring in? How do you introduce the next cinematographer?
Right.
Like,
you give him body armor.
Don't shoot me. She comes in with a helmet and like a bulletproof vest.
She's got a riot gear on.
Well, it's kind of like how
it's kind of like the movie to Swords.
And
I watched Swords.
I watched.
Well, yeah. Then someone gets stabbed in the throat.
It's kind of like what happened. I watched the first season of it, and I really thought it was good. My brother-in-law, like, who's a total normie, really liked it. And
what show?
Of what?
House of Cards. And mainly because that was filmed in Baltimore. That was it took place in DC, corrupt congressman Kevin Spacey.
It seems very accurate to me.
Oh, Babs, I'm telling you, if you're a normie, you're like, oh my god, I can't believe this. But it's like, no, this is like entry level shit. I digress. Really good first season. And the prior company I worked for when I was a sales rep, they would purchase from us. I worked for a welding supply company. So they would purchase helium for filming at night around Baltimore, in and around Baltimore, because it takes place in DC, but it's a lot cheaper to film in and around Baltimore and around Maryland than it is DC. So they would get these they would get helium to like float these light balloons to basically cast, if they needed more light to make it look like it was daylight at night.
Neat.
They would do that. So the one time I was just curious, I was like, fuck it. They're ordering a bunch of welding supplies. So I met the welder. And then lo and behold, a lot of people from Baltimore that I met in the art community meeting this welder who was cool as fuck. And he's part of we were talking about it, the union. Like, there are unions. So he was part of an ironworkers union that basically built sets and props. And so I was like, hey man, you're ordering a lot of being the sales rep. I'm like, hey, you're ordering a lot of this. Are you going to be using a lot? Like, what's going on? Let me check out your weld setup. And it was really fucking cool. It was in this whole big ass warehouse north of Baltimore. Technically, it was Joppa, or no, I'm sorry. It was off of Joppa Road, but it was just north of White Marsh, Maryland. So north of Baltimore. And it was like this big abandoned, like two big like shipping warehouses. So one was the set where they were literally shooting season 5. Well, long story short, it was pretty cool seeing all the sets and props and everything from the seasons prior. And, they got tax credits. They got fucking tax write-offs, all this bullshit. The government was involved. Shocker.
Imagine that.
Long story short, Kevin Spacey diddled a bunch of kids. It's true. All of his accusers end up dead. Shocker. So they killed them off. They killed them off in seasons 5 or 6. They continued filming, but all of these woke progressives, for the most part, that I met over the years working on this production, they were like, hey, it's over because Kevin Spacey's a fucking pedophile, and they killed him off. But they still finished out the season, but everybody's like, fuck this shit, fuck this show, whatever. So you wonder, are they going to complete this? Are they going to finish this bullshit? Like, to what level? And you see that, like, bringing in that union element, that's another fucking potential. Like, they are striking out there in California. Like, there's a big, I don't know if it's ongoing, but a lot of these unions that are involved in Hollywood, who knows? It could be part of that.
Are you saying that a union might actually hurt people to enhance their negotiated position?
It's never happened in history. So
that seems impossible. So
that's never happened, where you get the union thugs and goons that are tied to nefarious whatever. It might actually, I don't know.
But it would make sense, because if anybody's going to bring down sort of like liberal, establishment, it's going to be an internal feud. It's going to be a schism between their, like, we're pro-labor, but now we're also pro-vax. And we're seeing the sort of the alliances are being restructured, and
kind of how like Netflix is trying to take down Chappelle, and like the Netflix walkout. Like, there's turmoil. There's turmoil amongst the fucking wokies.
Right. I love that meme that shows like the Netflix staff during Cuties, right? And they're just like, yeah. And then Netflix staff during Dave Chappelle, they're like, oh.
I'm like 80% through the special. I'm gonna have to rewatch because it was after the Mises Caucus
Cuties?
Oktoberfest. No,
are you talking about
the Chappelle special?
Oh, that was freaking brilliant! Gosh, that was so
okay. Oh shit!
Was like,
we got some memes.
I don't know why this meme like fucking got me, dude.
That is savage.
Did you guys see the one I made?
I made
the one I made. I
post it up again just for those who haven't seen.
And you have to describe it for those that are visually impaired.
Oh yeah, the one I just shared is a picture of Master Chief shooting someone on the ground at like point blank range.
From what?
And
game is that? Halo?
It's captioned, Halo, and it's captioned, and Master Chief is captioned as Alec Baldwin, and then the person on the ground, it says some lady on the set.
That I consider like that's really disrespectful to the some lady on the set. Like at least use her name in the meme. Like, I mean, if you're going to ridicule her in her final moment of agony,
it's not ridiculing her.
I love the one of it was Alec Baldwin, basically his face photoshopped on what's his nuts in Pulp Fiction. Like, oh,
he's looking in the back seat of the car.
I shot Marvin in the face.
Oh Jesus! I got to see that one. That sounds awesome.
Yeah. I just posted the one in the group chat.
All right.
If you want...
Oh shit!
Yeah.
That was good.
He'll post that on the screen.
Yeah, I'll throw it up.
I'm proud of this meme. All right, I got it. This is like my baby. One. Yeah. So for people who aren't.
Oh yes. And that is literally the set. That is this one was so fucking good.
All right, read it.
So on the so the picture, there was a helicopter shot of the crime scene on the set of the movie, and I superimposed the picture of the CNN reporter saying "fiery but mostly peaceful day on set for Alec Baldwin." It literally took me like 2 minutes to put it together. And it was just so fucking funny.
It's so good.
Oh,
so
God.
Good.
And there's another one of the Bugs Bunny with his arms on the bar, just like leaning back. And it says director.
Oh, yeah.
It says cut. And then all of a sudden it goes, it says Alec Baldwin. It shows him pull up his gun and shoot.
Yeah.
Bugs Bunny one.
There were so many good ones.
Dude, where'd Alex go? He just dropped.
I don't know. He just dropped, dude. They finally got him, dude.
I know.
Drone. It was a drone strike. Finally. Possibly an EMP strike in his neighborhood. Who knows?
We're next. Holy shit.
They can't stop the signal. You know what?
This is like the.
How many would they have to take out of us to actually stop the show? If they just took out Jared, would that do it?
Probably that'd do it.
Yeah. Otto doesn't know how to use the
nope
the equipment.
I'll never figure out how to record ever again.
That'll end it.
Right. Fuck. God, could you
So
imagine,
yeah,
like,
don't even bother to target Alec. You know?
That's why we don't disclose my location.
Right.
Or any of our locations for that matter.
Or any location, yeah.
Yes. Well,
so poor Alec. Man. Is anybody going to give him another shot?
I don't know. Did he message you yet, Phil?
I like the way you said that. Another shot.
Another shot. I was just looking at
that reminds me of the best. I like the meme that's like the Pfizer logo and it's his face. It's like, take the shot.
This one?
Yeah, take the
CDC. That's it. CDC logo. Take the shot, and Alec Baldwin in his tuxedo. I think that makes it even better.
Never in a million years would I think this would be as funny as it was. And I just in my group chat was just my brothers, just sending stuff back and forth, and like half of them don't even care about politics.
Right. So when was the last? Funny. Well, there is a precedent for hilarious accidental shootings in the face, and that was Dick Cheney's incident when he went hunting.
Right.
Okay. That guy
survived though, so it made it like even more like okay.
But it was Dick Cheney, so as when a supervillain does it, it's extra funny.
Yeah. When's that motherfucker gonna die?
Oh God, can't wait for that shit because you know what? I'll save it for the after hours, but there was an incident when Colin Powell just died. Everybody, rest in no peace. Yes, you scumbag, lying war criminal. Fuck off. I
guess the key to a long and lasting life is to just be a war criminal.
Right. And so he died with COVID at the age of 80, whatever. He had the blood cancer, so he was being punished by the Lord.
Well, this is a lot of people are celebrating, but not me. Not me.
Yeah.
I would never the natural death of somebody like that. It's just wrong. It's just wrong for him to make it to the end, without finding justice.
Yes. There we go.
That's what I'm saying.
That means he won. He got away with it.
He did.
You never saw justice.
And he
had your 80-some year freaking murderous douchebag for decades. Got away with it.
And
same thing happened with like Che Guevara, right? Or not Che Guevara, with Castro, with Fidel Castro. Like he just died, lived like a long life, like nothing happened to him until he lived to be like 90 or some shit.
But really mad, right? Like every day he lived, I'm sure, just pissed off a little bit.
Pissed off who?
You're breaking up a little bit.
Yeah, Dad, you're breaking off.
Oh no, the EMP is coming for you.
Oh shit! We're gonna lose another one. Ah!
Jesus Christ! Oh, but
I think what you were saying that he was pissing off the United States and the deep state. So yeah, that's a fair point. That's
just by living, right? If you can annoy the CIA just by continuing to breathe, you've done something with your life.
That's what's keeping me alive. That and my children. That's about it. But
the thorn in the side of Maryland politics.
Right. Keeps me awake, or keeps me waking up in the morning. Yeah.
But the best I can do is like provide some mild amusement and boredom for my personal low-level handler. Like I don't even get like a good person surveilling me. Like I'm sure I'm like got some like low-level flunky intern. Like got a lot of work to do.
Yeah. And well, here's the thing though with him is he got redemption. That's the thing that pisses me off is he got public redemption after knowingly lying to the UN and on behalf of the George Bush neocon pieces of shits. He got redemption because in the eyes of the public because he decided to leave the GOP and back Hillary and Biden these past 2 elections. Like he let so they're like he's a great person. Like that's what it's like go to the Washington Post comment section and just people like what a statesman. That's what they kept saying. What a statesman. He chose to stare down fascism in the in the face and say no.
Well, that's because in the end he was vaccinated and they like that.
That just got me. I don't know. It's true. It's true though. He was fully vaxxed, but he was such a goner. Like
yeah, right.
What?
He was part of the whole anybody but Trump thing.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, pretty much.
So they'll reward him for that. War crimes, no problem. But you know what? You said something. You criticized Trump. You're in. You got vaccinated. You're in. Whatever.
Right. It's
Occupy Democrats. Remember Occupy Democrats Facebook group or whatever?
Yes.
This is one of the most nauseating, lamest regime. Anyway, they must have spent all day paying tribute to Colin Powell. Like they could not get out of their own way, like just licking his I mean, it was disgusting the way they were like just stroking his memory. But vaccinated.
Why are you following Occupy Democrats on Facebook, dude?
Well,
that's a better question.
I must have subscribed at I hadn't seen them for years, but I remember them from at some point in the past, and probably just for trolling opportunities or something, right? Like, I don't know why, or posting Bernie memes, or I don't know exactly what got me in there to begin with, but I had it for years, and it just appeared. They're like, it must be election season or something, and they just start pushing anything with Democrat in the name. Probably gets extra traction.
It's funny. There's been quite a few times. There's been quite a few times where I'll just be scrolling my feed. I'm like, why the fuck is this in my feed? And then I'll look at the bottom and it'll say like James Babb commented on it. And there's something fucking based like you just okay, that makes sense.
It's either you or like what's his name? The bearded libertarian. What's his name? The guy he's been on our show a few times. I'm forgetting his name right now.
The bearded libertarian.
Like he has a Facebook page called the Bearded Libertarian.
Ed Kimmel. Yeah.
Like he's constantly like commenting on like normie shit like all day.
Yeah.
So like whenever I open up Facebook,
I love it. I love friends that do that.
Yeah,
that's entertaining. You got to jump in when you see one of your friends on there, right? Like it gives you an opportunity to pile on. It's like, are people really like Kamala Harris? Like, who wants to follow Kamala Harris and just leave stupid comments for her all the time? Like, somebody's got to, I guess.
Just seems like, I don't know, dude. Just like pissing into the void. Just
I just
utterly
like
pointless.
The reactions. I just like getting the reactions.
People,
yeah. And all it takes is one person to see it and be like, what is this guy talking about? Like, he's a war criminal? What? Like, what? I always, everyone's saying, rest in peace. He's such a statesman. And I'm just going, nope. I was like, no peace for war criminals. I was just going on. And they were like, he was a gentleman, a statesman, a scholar, and all this thing. And I was like, don't forget war criminal.
And a liar, and a murderer, and a scumbag, and a shill for the deep state.
Oh, we've got Alex back. He survived the EMP hit.
I don't think so.
He had to reboot.
He's on his phone now.
Dude.
Yeah.
Your audio quality is...
Your audio sounds like shit, bro.
All right. I'll mute it. I'll come back later.
What's your mic source right now?
You sound so sad.
Sad.
It sounds like you're in a phone call from like a basement in Mexico.
No, I was going to say it sounds like you're calling from Brazil.
They got me, guys. They got me. I'll come back later. I'm out.
Oh my god, that was so bad.
That's terrible. That was like worse than David Gay's audio that one time.
Right. Yeah.
I expected like a recording to come on and say like, "This is a call from a federal penitentiary." Blah 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 blah. You know,
you accept the charges. Dude, his computer just shit the bed. That sucks, man.
Dude, that would be cool to get somebody from prison to call into the show one time.
Let's get
Ross Ulbricht to do it.
Ross, yeah.
Oh, that would be amazing. I mean, it'd be really
I think
sad.
his advisors would advise him against it. Which, if I was advising him, I would also advise him against it.
This isn't going to help you. This is not going to help your parole hearing.
You've only got 2 life sentences. Don't make it worse.
Yeah. Don't make it worse.
Don't risk it.
Oh God. Well, poor Alex. Hopefully
we need him back.
After hours, his computer will pop back up. I think so. That's what he's waiting for. He said his computer crashed, and he'll just jump back in later.
Windows is probably doing an update, so like 4 hours from now he'll be ready to work again.
It's updating to Windows 11 probably against his will.
I get shit. That's why I had the same problem. I had the same problems. I can't blame him. I'm like some tech genius over here who knows how to figure out stuff.
See, that's what Bill Gates is all about. It's all just mandatory system upgrades, mandatory injections, mandatory surveillance, like just, eugenics, Windows. It all fits together.
It all aligns.
Oh, God.
Vaccines, eugenics, Windows. Fuck that guy.
Boy. Yeah, that guy sucks.
Which is the biggest war crime, though? His population control, his Windows or latest Windows release,
or they get him what they got on Fauci. Fauci might actually go down for this.
Yeah,
but apparently Fauci murdering puppies.
What the hell? Torturing puppies to death, and taking their vocal cords out so they can't hear them suffer while they're torturing them with fleas biting their faces off, trying to transmit diseases.
So So the study came out from a FOIA request. Pretty much what was going on is they were directly funding a lab for the study of. They were putting beagles in the heads in cages and putting them to sleep and letting these sand flies or sand fleas, whatever, see if they could eat them alive, the dogs alive. And
for what purpose?
It was gain of function research. They were trying to see if they could modify sand fleas to eat people faces. And they had to do research on puppies. What the fuck? There's no reason for this. Right. But I think it did have to do with a parasite that the fleas can transmit, and they needed to measure the transmission rate. Literally, I'm sure it's bioweapons, right? They're always trying to find some new bug that they can transmit to somebody. Like it probably isn't that far off from the gain of function scandal. Like, why are you so concerned about viruses being transmitted from fleas to beagles in Tunisia?
Jesus.
Okay. Right. It's got sketchy bioweapons research all over it again.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. And it's funny, like I mean, people are freaking out about this more than they are freaking out about him getting caught for gain of function research lying. Like he got caught out again for lying about the gain of function research.
Right. He probably personally caused the entire coronavirus like pseudo pandemic, right? Probably actually did. But oh my God, he tortured puppies. Get him.
That's what it takes, man. Like it's weird. But
so this isn't just like back page shit. Like this is actually getting picked up by mainstream.
Yes.
Wow. So they've just decided, all right, you've served your purpose, Mr. Fauci. It's time to cast you off to the dogs.
Is he being put out to pasture on this?
Oh, I hope. But they'll probably bring in someone even more scummy and worse. Probably a diversity hire too. Probably make sure it's a person of color.
Perhaps a new vice admiral or what do we have? There's a new sheriff in town. What's that? You know who I'm talking about?
Was it Alec Baldwin?
No. Health and Human Services.
Health and what? Human Services?
Yeah,
Health and Human Services.
It's like a
Here, I'm Googling it.
woman.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. She
The one who like murdered
title?
a bunch of people also? Didn't she like
Yeah, she's the one that like killed all those old people in Pennsylvania nursing homes. And then they caused so many COVID deaths in nursing homes from her actions that they were able to declare it a COVID emergency and claim more power. Like, well, due to all the people we killed,
a pro gamer move.
Yeah, due to all the people we killed, we're going to need more power. And everyone's like, sounds legit.
Like, more money, please.
Yes, ma'am. It's like, as long as you're trans. Okay, all right.
Church, let's do this on a national level, motherfucker. Let's kill these people all throughout the country. Pennsylvania is too small. Let's go big. Go big or go home. Let's kill all the elderly people in this country. And it's funny because I thought that was a joke because I was like, oh, ha ha ha, you know, making someone the new 4-star admiral, like a civilian. Like, I don't know how that works, but it sounded like so fake. Someone sent me a screenshot. I was like, oh, that's funny. Like, I thought that was like a Babylon Bee article. And then I literally was scrolling through Washington Post and I was like, oh my God.
Wait, so actually I'm not very familiar with this story. What actually happened with her recently?
All right. So she got promoted to vice. Oh boy. Now I got, dude, what do we do in the beginning part of the show? Like we're a half hour
to do
early
research, but we don't.
We don't do any research. We just shoot the shit. Like, I don't know.
Well, here's the problem is first of all, who even knows what Health and Human Services is, right? But I'm pretty sure it's actually a branch of the military, and they have admirals and stuff, right? So you're like, this, like, there's Army, Navy, Air Force, like Oceanographic something or other, and Health and Human Services, and like they probably have their own tanks, planes, Mandos, special forces,
drones.
and she gets to order them around. Drones. Yeah, who knows? Who knows what? Killer satellites.
All right, let's see here.
Yes.
Rachel Levine, openly transgender health official, sworn in as 4-star admiral in public health service.
Public health service has admirals. Okay, now a lot of people probably never even knew that.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. I thought it was a joke. I didn't know.
You're thinking like, oh, health and probably like Social Security office or something.
Right.
Oh, they help people. Or we need admirals.
Bats, dude, you're dropping off, man.
They got him again. They got him again.
Oh no.
Oh man, but yeah.
Oh, you hate to see it.
It's funny because, like, you think admirals, right? Like, what does NASA have admirals? Like, are there admirals of like Social Security? Or the DMV has admirals. I was just nominated I'm a 3-star admiral in the NBA.
No, this is Air Force. Or one. I don't even know. Space. Bookmark. What are the days that they have?
Beth, try turning off your video.
Yeah,
that might help.
Yeah, man.
What's up,
dude?
Hang on.
They're shooting. They're missing, but they're coming close to your strikes. The EMP strikes. They're getting close to you.
You're getting some EMP like shrapnel hitting you.
I had some other
No. We're only hearing like every other syllable you say. This is bad. This is.
We're only getting half the bad that we were promised.
I know.
I'm gonna log out. I'm gonna log out.
No.
Oh. No.
You're done, dude. We can't hear.
Try turning off your video, Bab. This is what our. Yeah, Wayne.
What's
exactly.
1, 2.
Oh, now now you're coming in.
All right. How about that? Is my audio any better?
Yeah, your audio sounds great.
Yeah, you're crystal clear again.
They just cut your bandwidth.
Okay,
now.
well, I think it's the internet's way of saying like we really don't want to see your image, so I'll accept that.
The great thing is I'm not going to edit any of that out in post.
No, why would you?
I don't do any of that.
Right. Editing's for those other
that would be
podcasts.
That would actually be providing a service for listeners.
No, I don't do that.
Nope. Fuck off.
I'm like the opposite of like the
anyway. We're talking about the Admiral here. Back to the Admiral. The Admiral of Health and Human Services.
Admiral Adams.
Imagine having to. You got to salute. I mean, you got to salute. You salute when you like. Can she order people to their death on like suicide missions? Like, where does her power go as a 4-star admiral? Like, I think you could. I don't know. Could you start a war, or how does?
Dude, I don't know. I have no clue. I don't know.
Yeah. Can they order the vaccine attack drones? You know.
She has her own fleet. She
has her own fleet of
vaccine
attack drones that just dive down and inject people.
Just like shooting people like left.
Damn, I wish we were like
evil laughing,
talented enough to like create skits, because I've thought of like 3 skits from this episode that we could do.
Oh man, and it's funny because like
talent out there.
Yeah, I guess we could recruit some other people, right?
I mean, I could do some acting, I guess.
Wow,
I'm an actor. I'm a talented actor. I can just shoot the director.
Alec Baldwin might be available.
I was gonna say, or I could just. I'm an expert at being an actor. I can just.
How good are you with props, though?
I'll get an Emmy.
Oh my god!
How do you show your face after murdering someone? Like, how do you like? Well, but then again, it's like they're a bunch of fucking pedophiles and lizard people. So what does it matter?
Yeah,
like,
this is pretty.
What does it matter?
Like accidental killing somebody, that's pretty low on the totem pole.
It's just like
totem pole.
I'm sure he immediately blamed somebody else and like went out to his friends later. I mean, like, I'm sure he's like going to be the victim in all of this when the narrative is complete.
I absolutely. So Michael Malice said, he's like, I guarantee in 1 year he'll be on TV shows talking about how he's the victim of a shooting a victim of a shooting on set or something, a gun shooting. And it's so true.
Exactly.
It's so true.
What was the killer?
And people will eat it up.
What was the killer tweet that Malice had?
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to remember it.
It's on. I shared all of it on Facebook. Like, it's all there.
Because he had a few. He had like 5 that were great.
Critique. It was a critique. He had like people are pulling out these old tweets from Baldwin, and then it's just so brutal now in the face of current events. But the one was he was saying something about like he was trying to. I guess there had been an accidental shooting somewhere, and he was being a smart ass critic. I mean, like, imagine how horrible it would be to accidentally shoot somebody and blah blah blah. Or like, so would you want to? Or
I got it right here. It says on December 5th, 2014, Alec Baldwin posted, I'm going to make bright banana yellow t-shirts that read, quote, my hands are up, please don't shoot, end quote. Who wants one? And Michael Malice replied to it saying, all of your coworkers.
Yeah, that one was amazing.
This is what he needs to hear every day for the rest of his miserable life. Right?
Yeah, that's what we're here for. That's what our shit posters are here for. So don't worry.
I mean, it's taking away valuable time. It does take time away from us talking about Joe Biden being a pedophile, but I feel there's room for both of these things now.
So yeah, and it's so funny because there are so many people across the political spectrum dropping memes about this. Like every time I look down at my phone, I get an update like from a group chat. There's a new meme about Alec Baldwin being a murderer. Like, there's just a picture of his face, and someone just put up a tattoo of a teardrop under his eye, and it's just that's all it does, because signifying he's a murderer. Like,
is anybody defending him yet? I mean, has anybody come out? Like,
some people are. They're saying it was the gun. The prop director was supposed to, it's his responsibility to make sure the guns are unloaded, and people are giving him shit saying, no, like, gun safety 101 is treat a gun as if it's always loaded and always check and see if it is loaded. Right. And if it's not the one pulling the trigger's responsibility, it's going to be the producer's responsibility to make sure everyone else on the set is following the right protocols. Right. So if you're the producer and you see that safety protocols aren't being fired, you would stop production and intervene immediately. Right.
Like, it's your production. You cannot, you're responsible. So, he needs to be put on trial twice, once as producer and then again as the one pulling the trigger.
Right, man. And that's the thing is there's a part of me that thinks like, was he just playing with it? Was he just joking around on set, playing with his gun?
Think.
And
like, I don't know what other circumstance he'd be firing it like right at somebody.
Right. I don't know.
I mean, it could have been to just try to get the shot or whatever. It was a certain angle that he was focused on his art. He's an artist.
Yeah.
And trying to make sure his good side was showing as he blew her brains out. I mean, I don't know.
Oh my God. This is just what a fucking shit show, man.
I think it would be, this would be totally different story if it had been like a beloved actor instead of a liberal douche, right? Like, I think even liberals don't like that guy. Like, I don't think anybody's going to jump in and be like,
no,
oh, it's,
Has Trump commented on this? Has he released one of his like little like from the office of Trump little things about this?
Oh, that'd be
because he had a great one about Meghan and John McCain the other day.
No,
did you see that?
What did he say?
Oh man, he was like, basically, I guess Meghan McCain's been complaining that she's getting bullied by the other people on The View, and he wrote something like basically like, oh man, I just gotta find it. I can't do it justice.
I know.
I'll save that for the after hours. That's a good after hours.
He did talk shit about Colin Powell, which was funny. I thought it was fake, but it was real, and I'm like, oh my God. It's just like life is a simulation. Like,
I did see. Oh yeah, they were saying like he was like Colin Powell. Like, I hope the fake news media treats me and my death like they're treating Colin Powell the war criminal or something like that. Like, it was kind of awesome. Like, it was kind of cool.
Like it was, but then you realize he was like a bitch to the deep state too, just like Colin Powell.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm not saying like he's cool. I'm just saying it. Yeah. What he was saying was like yeah, okay, cool.
It was cracking me up so bad. I'm like, I can't believe this is real. Every time I see him tweet or like back, even when he was president, just seeing him tweet, I cannot believe this guy is president. I cannot believe it. It was fun.
And now you're nostalgic when you see the current president. And you're like, oh my God, he's a senile kid sniffer. You're like, the whole idea of having this like rude, grab him by the pussy kind of guy, it's like that was almost presidential by comparison.
Right. Yeah, man, we're probably gonna have to talk more about this in the after hours, but dude, Joe Biden did this fucking awful town hall in Baltimore. It was like invite only, and I mean, my God, you have the most perfect chance. You're set up with just like you're set up.
Everything's
for so much
fake.
Success, and he still fucking just could not keep his shit together for 2 seconds. I couldn't believe it.
Playing a child, or are they able to protect children, or was there? How bad did it get?
It was just him. Well, we'll have to talk about in the after hours, but we'll because we're coming up and on it now. Yeah, we're at like 58 minutes. So,
all right,
we're gonna take this over to after hours. Hopefully, Alex could. His problem from the EMP blast over his house, and his computer can get back up and running. But yeah, so we have a after hours podcast we record right after this. If you guys go to our Patreon, you can subscribe for as little as $1, and you guys get access to our whole back catalog of fun stuff, and you get to hear this podcast we're going to record right after this. And if you don't like using Patreon, you can go to PRLfans.com and find other ways to donate to the show. Fuck yeah, give us some Bitcoin. Just went up to record highs. So please send some over.
And then go buy more. Right?
Yes.
Go send it and then replace it. Yeah.
Yes. So please do that. Also, we have t-shirts for sale over at libertariancountry.com. If you use the code PRL or PRL Podcast, you get yourself a 10% discount. If you spend $50 or more and you get a 20% discount if you use the code PRL2. Also, we have one of our newer sponsors is wheeliespharmacy.com, and you can get all of your CBD needs from them. If you use the code PRL10, you get a 10% discount. So keep using our discounts. If you like us, just go ahead. Just one time, man. Just do it. And also, we're also brought to you by Hidden in Plain Sight by Moral Bob. please check out. I think he literally just dropped another podcast last week. So go check that out. And until next time, live free
or die.